feel like when you're trying to figure out what's next, your thoughts start going in 15 different directions? You've got all these options, all these ideas, and all these opportunities swirling around, and you keep turning over the same thoughts in your head again and again and again. But instead of clarity, it just turns into one big internal debate. And here's the thing. It's not like you're clueless about what matters to you. You do know the things that you care about. But knowing what matters is really different from knowing how much those things matter to you for your next chapter, what they look like in your next chapter, and whether you feel like they can all fit together in that next chapter. And that is where a lot of people get stuck. There's this in-between place where something in your life or your work or your relationships or all three feels ready to change, but you can't seem to get the clarity that you need in order to figure out what changes you want to make, when you want to make those changes, and how big those changes are going to be. So you try harder, you think about it more, you talk it out with friends, you journal, you listen to podcasts, make lists, loop through the same possibilities, but instead of getting more answers, you just end up with more questions. Not because you are doing anything wrong, but because clarity doesn't come from just trying to push on the same thought from the same angle. And here's what most people miss. It is really hard to leap straight into those big questions. What's your 5-year plan? What's your purpose? What do you really want? If you could answer those questions on command, you wouldn't be stuck. So real clarity comes from asking different questions first, the kind that bring up what's been sitting beneath the surface. And that is why structure matters. Structure that gives you the right prompts, the right pacing, the right container, something that gives your mind enough space to get everything that has been swirling around in your head out onto paper so you can really explore it, not alone, but with guidance. Think of it like when you're at the eye doctor. In order to help you see with that 20/20 vision, they don't have you come into the office and tell them what prescription you need. The whole idea is that you guys are going to find it together. They keep giving you different lenses to look through, and you share what you're seeing. What's getting you closer to or farther away from being able to see what's in front of you with clarity. Approaching big questions this way, step by step, layer by layer, and through different lenses, lets smaller realizations build into bigger ones in a really organic way. Every time I guide someone through this process, the same shift happens. They go from circling around these ideas to really delving into them. They go from feeling fragmented and pulled in all these different directions to feeling like their priorities come together as part of this unified whole. That's when decisions get easier. That's when your mind can focus on moving forward rather than staying stuck in that mental swirl. And that's when things that felt really complicated start feeling doable. All because the process helped them understand themselves more than they could if they just stayed stuck in their own head. So if you've been having the same kind of internal debates on repeat and things are still feeling foggy, remember, it is not because you can't figure it out. You absolutely can. It's just that you haven't found an approach that works for you yet. Next week, I'm going to be sharing why so many people try to plan their next chapter from the wrong starting point without even realizing it. And until then, if you're craving support and structure and an actual process to clarify your vision for this next chapter of your life, step by step in real time, I'll be opening spots for my January Visionary cohort soon. For now, just reflect on your current approach. What is working? What's not working? And if you want to try a different way.